Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we'll be reviewing a heavily depreciated TRX with a lot of miles. This TRX has almost 100,000 miles. The haters said that the Ram TRXs couldn't handle high mileage. Here you go, we've got one. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Doug Smith Ram here in Spanish Fork. Give me some time with this TRX. This one is available for sale, so if you're interested, link to the website in the description down below. Link to my car buying guide as well. Let's get into it. So powering this is the Hellcat. It's a supercharged 6.2 liter V8 that goes through an 8-speed. It puts out 702 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque. This has almost 100,000 miles on it, and these Hellcats have been proven to be able to go well over 100,000 miles. I bet this thing will be able to go to at least 200,000. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now, as for the rest of the truck, I'm not going to go over all the features on the Ram TRX because, well, I've reviewed plenty of them on the channel. I want to show you guys the condition of this truck, though, after almost 100,000 miles. I'm actually quite impressed with how well it is held up. So this is a launch edition, so it's got the cool TRX decal there in the center. And the only thing I've really noticed on the front end is, looks like the build quality here wasn't the best. It's like slightly misaligned right there. But other than that, the rest of the front end basically looks brand new. And they must have recently replaced these tires because they don't have a lot of wear on them. But yeah, these are the stock tires that come with the truck. These aren't the original tires, obviously. They would have had to have replaced them at least once, maybe twice over 96,000 miles. But yeah, 35-inch tall tires from the factory. And you can see a little bit of wear on that section right there on the bumper. But like this and the paint and everything, I mean, it basically looks brand new. Like if you just take a few steps back and look at this truck, and it's not perfectly clean, but I mean, if you just put a little bit of polish on those tires, it would look basically brand new. Got the TRX logo there on the back, which is pretty cool. I'm interested to see now how these Bilstein shocks perform at almost 100,000 miles. But yeah, I'm not going to go over everything on the exterior, but I mean, you guys get the point. This truck doesn't look like it's been through the ringer, but it's got some mileage on it, and the interior is also quite impressive with how well it's held up. And that's something that, you know, Dodge hasn't been known for in the past. But you can see like all the leather trim. This has a cool carbon fiber too, and the suede and everything. And then look at the seats. These seats must have not been used very much in the back because they basically look brand new. But yeah, I mean, if you put this next to a brand new truck, you'd be hard pressed to tell the difference. You can see there's a little bit of wear here. Some oils have kind of gone into that. But even like the, excuse me, on the window controls. And then yeah, the driver's seat. But I mean, come on, this is a lot of mileage. And you can see this is kind of, but not bad for how many miles this has. The thing that's impressed me the most though, it's actually the dash. So I thought that Ram went to the fake leather because they were having issues with this potentially. But you can see that there's no peeling up, there's no folding, like it looks pretty much, again, brand new with the dash. Sorry about the glare there. Camera doesn't really want to focus too much. The steering wheel does show quite a bit of wear. So you can see this kind of trim here on the side and all of that. So that is what I mean. Again, your hands are going to be all over that. Same thing with the shifters, got a little bit of that. But yeah, the rest of this interior basically looks brand new, and we'll quickly pop it on. Also, I got the window sticker. 94,595 was the original MSRP. 96,000 miles on it. Crazy. And if you're wondering, after a few years and that many miles, this is going for less than $30,000 below MSRP. It's like $62,000 roughly is the asking price. So that's crazy though. The TRX has actually held its value decently well, all things considered, but let's see how it performs. Safety first. Always got to put a seatbelt on. Okay. Let's turn on that cooled seat. Blind spot unavailable. Okay. Hey, here's the deal. Warning lights with a truck that has 100,000 miles roughly. That's not a problem. That's a feature. That's a feature. You understand? I know I'm gonna get so much hate for that, but I'm good. Service active damping system. Okay. Okay. Off-road management limited. Avoid aggressive maneuvers. Well, Ram TRX, I'm driving through the parking lot, so I should be fine. That's something that I was curious about because, you know, I've talked to the engineers at Bilstein and they told me that these shocks are as hardcore as it gets. Basically, nothing is going to break the shocks, but the computer's controlling the shocks, right? That could be a different story. Not putting words in their mouth. They just told me the shocks are hardcore, but I could see, you know, that's the one thing that I will say that I'm not too fond of is all these computers, right? Dubious at best, right? Is like they create some really cool, they do some really cool things with all these computers and everything, but then at the same time, the reliability just isn't there like the old system. Like, you know, think about this. If you just have regular fixed shocks, well, they keep working until they stop working, and then once you start to get a bunch of shock fade and everything because the shocks are worn out, then you just replace that. Whereas now it's like your shocks might be perfectly fine. They might be in great condition, but your computer is having some issues, and so then you've got to replace. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like you got to replace that. It's just crazy how it goes. But Ram TRX. The thing I've noticed about these TRXs is it doesn't matter how many miles they have, they still perform the same. And I noticed even the door, the closing, didn't feel weird. It wasn't weird at all. Super smooth still with the drive. And I bet this is on its original shocks too. I'd be surprised if someone's replaced one of these. Yeah, I guarantee this engine's gonna go down in history as one of the greatest engines ever made, just because of the power that it produces and the reliability. Now I'm sure like the crazy tuned versions like the Demon and stuff, those might not be as reliable long term, but you know, standard Hellcat, TRX and all that kind of stuff, this will probably end up being, I mean, so far it's done pretty well. Now we're gonna be going over the train tracks here. I guess we'll see how these train tracks are pretty beat up, by the way. That was pretty darn good. That was pretty darn good. I know it's no Baja jumping, but you know, gets the job done. We'll just use this loopy-loop driveway. If you guys need animal help, Nebo Animal Clinic. Thank you for letting me use your driveway. But yeah, seriously, the seats are comfortable, and these seats, you know, again, like I said, there's a little bit of wear and tear on them, but they have held up really well. And you know, some of that's going to come down to who owned this, right? How much they did to take care of it, and it seems like the previous owner of this truck did a pretty good job. Yeah, we'll see coming back through again. So like I said, these train tracks are pretty rough. Oof. Yeah, damping's good. Still doing the TRX thing. This truck cannot be stopped. This is America's Hilux. Yep, I'm saying it. I'm saying it now. Again, some of the computer systems, we'll see. But the engine, the transmission, the shocks, just bulletproof. And again, the build on this truck's actually held up really well. There's no like the you know, the leather dash isn't leather. Yes, the leather on the dash isn't like peeling up or anything like that. It's all just working. So I'm impressed. And guess what? You can still do that. It's just, yeah, such a fun truck. Man, if I don't know, if I were to get it now, I've been debating back and forth on, you know, what truck I'd get if I were ever to get a truck again. It might be a TRX. The fuel economy's not the best. They're expensive. Brand new. You can still get some new ones, by the way, because they haven't sold out fully. But just the durability of this is so appealing. It's just such a good setup. And yeah, I think this definitely proves it. Again, we'll see how the electronics do long term, but the rest of the truck seems to be pretty darn solid. So the haters, you can still hate, but you're wrong. Because I really do think that this truck's, again, this is some level of proof, and I think we're going to get more and more proof as time goes on. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to fit between there. That's like trying to get a fat man down a slip and slide. It just doesn't work. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the Ram TRX. Let me know if you'd trust one of these with some mileage on it. But I'll say, out of all the, like, you know, high mileage supercharged vehicles, I think I'd probably trust this the most, because again, it's just the powertrain. And the same thing, well, I don't know if I trust a Hellcat as much, because like the TRXs, you'll have the you know, the old boys that'll drive these, and they'll treat them pretty well. Whereas Hellcats, I don't know if there's a single Hellcat owner that drives that car gingerly. I think they're all pretty darn rallied, so that would be a little bit scary to buy a high mileage Hellcat compared to a high mileage TRX, where you might have some, like, I don't know, I just imagine this is an expensive truck, some 70-year-old dude driving this around, getting on it every so often because he wants to feel the power, and then basically driving it the same as he would drive a, you know, regular Ram 1500 with the 5.7 Hemi. So yeah, that's all.